guys, welcome to my new channel DGP Star Vision. I just want to introduce myself to you. I'm Savitri, postgraduate in MBA Finance. I'm going to teach you how to learn Pitman English Shorthand in easy ways. English Shorthand is a type of writing skill in a quicker manner. It saves our time. If you want to write anybody's speech in English in longhand, that is in the normal way of writing English, it is not possible. Whereas if you write it in shorthand, it is possible even that person's speech is more than 120 words per minute. English shorthand is a combination of strokes and curves. While learning English, we learn alphabets first. Like that, here in the same manner, we have to learn 24 basic characteristics. You have to use pencil while writing shorthand. Otherwise, you cannot make out the difference between light strokes and dark strokes. But for writing dark strokes, here I am using pen. Otherwise, it is not visible to you. For your convenience, I am using pen. But you have to write in pencil only, both light strokes and dark strokes. I'll explain you one by one. The first letter is P. You have to write it from upward to downward direction. The direction I am writing it after the stroke, from upward to downward direction. It sounds as P. The second letter is B. I am writing it dark with the pen. Again it is upward to downward direction. It sounds as B. The third letter is T. It is a light stroke from upward to downward direction. The direction also I am mentioning here after the stroke. It sounds as T. The next letter is D. This is the dark stroke. Direction is upward to downward direction. It sounds as D. The next letter is Ch. It is upward to downward direction, light stroke. It sounds as Che. The next letter is J, from upward to downward direction. This is a dark stroke. It sounds as J. The next letter is K. It is a horizontal stroke and a light stroke. You have to write it from left to right direction. The direction is left to right. It sounds as K. The next stroke is G. This is a dark stroke, horizontal stroke. Direction is left to right. It sounds as G. The next curve is F. This is a light curve upward to downward direction. It sounds as F. The next letter is V. V curve from upward to downward direction. It sounds as V. The next letter is It. You have to write it in light from upward to downward direction. It sounds as It. The next letter is D. From upward to downward direction. It sounds as D. Here there are 12 strokes. I am going to explain you the remaining 12 strokes. It starts from next S. From upward to downward direction. It is a light curve. The direction is upward to downward. It sounds as S. The next letter is Z. Z. It sounds as Z. Again with the downward direction you have to write. It sounds as Z. Next curve is Ish. Upward downward direction. It sounds as ish, as we use this in she. The next letter is ZH, Z. It is a dark curve upward to downward direction. It sounds as Z. The next letter is M. It is from left to right direction. It is a light stroke. It sounds as M. The next letter is N. Left to right direction. Again it's a light stroke. It sounds as N. The next stroke is NG. It sounds as ing, and you have to write it in dark from left to right direction. Ing, as we use this in young. The next letter is L. You have to write it from downward to upward direction like this. This is a light stroke. It sounds as L. The next letter is R. R can be written in two ways. I'll show you. It is a light stroke. From downward to upward direction. It is in one way you have to write, and in another way from upward to downward direction like this. This sounds as R. Next letter is W. It sounds as way. You have to write it from downward to upward direction. W, way. Like this you have to write. It sounds as way. The next letter is Y. It sounds as A. Again this is from downward to upward direction. Like this you have to write. It sounds as A. The next letter, the last letter is H, that is 24th character. This letter also it can be written in two ways. From upward to downward direction in one way, and from downward direction to upward direction in another way. You can write it in two ways. These are the 24 characteristics you have to learn in English shorthand. These are the basic characteristics. You just keep on practicing. I'll see you in the next class. Bye.